There.
Good day, or good evening. Thanks for joining today. You are here with us on the Kingdom Wealth Warriors podcast. My name is Deb Howard, your abundant life coach. Listen, I'm excited to be here on today. I have the infamous, famous, highly skilled, energetic team with me today from the summit, the Kingdom Wealth Warriors Summit team. Woohoo! I needed some noise or something.
Need a bell.
See, that was the clue for them to make noise.
Right. They say, wake up.
Oh my gosh. So listen, thanks for joining me. And if you are watching, you know that we are going to talk about the summit. Did you know I had a summit last Saturday, October 19th? Did you know that? We did. We had a summit. We had a whole in-person summit. A whole thing. And listen, it was amazing. If I must say so myself, it was amazing. And listen, I can't wait for us to talk about it because that's what we're here to do. We're here to talk about it. But before we start talking about it, let me give these beautiful women an opportunity to introduce themselves. So I am going to hand it over to Nakia.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here. My name is Nakia Franklin, and I am the founder of Brave B7AVE Manifestations LLC, where we craft a legacy of transformation. We redefine what empowerment, growth, and self-care means to women like me. I'm more than a mentor. I am a legacy builder. I am shaping a future where single mothers are recognized as a journey of resilience and purpose, and that has a rippling effect. Welcome. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you, Nakia. Regina.
That was wonderful, Nakia. Hi, everyone. I am honored to be a part of this phenomenal team of women led by visionary Coach Deb Howard. But I am Regina Jones. I am the navigator for your journey, helping you to step back from the edge of surrender by always reminding you that your journey, guess what? It does matter. And you do have what it takes to persevere through the challenges. So in the end, you will keep going and never give up. I'm also the founder of the newly formed Navigate and Thrive Coaching, and I'm here to help you to uncover your strength when life feels uncertain. My work is all about empowering you to find resilience, to thrive, to keep going and realize your goals. Thank you so much, Coach Deb.
Thank you, Regina. And next we're going to Miss Tanya, who is traveling, but she's going to join us anyway. Tanya, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good evening. Can you all hear me okay?
We got you.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Tanya Collins. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I am a prayer warrior as well as an intercessor and also a stylist. So I look forward to the rest of this evening. Thank you, Coach Deb, for having me to be a part of this team.
Thank you, Tanya. And last but not least, Miss Love.
Woo, woo, woo. Hello, y'all. I am Love Pate, the anointed architect and mindset mentor. I help female leaders of faith shift their mindset in order to build structurally sound connections to their true identity so that through a strong sense of value, they can see a clear pathway from their now unto the next evolution of themselves. Thank you, Coach Deb, and I'm looking forward to our discussion today.
Listen, I've been waiting all week for this, okay? Because I've been ready to talk about it. I'm like, I need to talk about this with somebody. So listen, we are here now, ladies and gentlemen, to tell you about the summit. Now, hopefully you were there, but just in case you weren't, we're going to try to paint the picture. I should have brought my book. I'm gonna go get my program because look at them. Look at them. Listen.
Exactly. Y'all better bring that program.
Oh,
I got mine too now. Don't think I don't. I do have it. But listen, let's get started. Let's get started because I'm gonna talk about them programs later. You know that y'all know it's always a testimony. But listen, we're gonna get to that later. So listen, the first question I have, we're gonna play round robin on tonight, y'all. I hope you are ready because this game that I got here, listen, we ain't gonna get rowdy tonight. We might get rowdy. Can you handle rowdy?
I can.
Just be with us because we excited. All right.
It's Sunday night.
All right. So first question. I want you guys to give me one word. Uno. One word that describes your experience at the summit. One word. Go.
Free.
It wasn't free, y'all. Okay. But
Absolutely not free in the sense of it was free.
Girl, you got one word.
You being obedient.
Yeah.
I was being obedient. I was being obedient.
freedom.
Now, okay,
We got you. We got you, Nakia.
Yeah, I felt completely, absolutely free in the process of the whole experience. I had the ability to be my total authentic self, unapologetically, and stepping into my divine purpose. Like so much self-discovery in the process.
Oh, you ready to follow the script? We started off all wrong. One word.
But I did instructions at first.
I
was being obedient.
One word.
She was trying to define it for us. I understand because yeah. I mean, fam, y'all already know I'm a jokester.
We cut up.
All right, but freedom. I love that though. I love that word, freedom. I can definitely relate to that. Okay, but we're gonna keep moving. Miss Y Regina.
I think the word that I would use is transformative. That's my word.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
Transformative. I'm gonna take that one too.
Yes,
I'm gonna take all the words probably, but I do like transformative. It really was. Okay, Tanya.
Expansive.
See, y'all then brought out the dictionary words. Expansive. I love it.
I like that. Yeah.
All right. Love.
Mine is shifting.
Shifting. I love that too. I'm going to say my word was revelatory.
Okay.
There was so much for me. There was so much revealing, not just about myself, but about others, about what God is doing, just everything. And listen, pardon me, but we do have another member of the team, Carbonita Seegers, who is having connection problems. I'm hoping she'll pop back on, but I want to acknowledge her because she was great help too. And hopefully she'll be able to jump back on before we finish up tonight. All right. So your one word, I want you now to go ahead and share your favorite moment, right? And you can give us more than one word now.
Okay, y'all can be with me all night. I see. Okay, that's all right though. I love y'all anyway. At first.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. So yeah, but now you can give more than one word. Go ahead and share your favorite experience from the summit, starting with Nakia.
Okay, so my favorite experience was learning and fully understanding the true definition between a summit and the conference, and being in a room with people who were called kings and queens, who were called to be a part of this summit to get what there was for God to download in each and every one of us. That was like a pivotal moment for me. It was eye-awakening because we go to conferences all the time. I've been to 1,000 conferences, right? And the outcome is always the same. The expectation, the end result is always the same. But a summit, y'all had to be in the room to fully understand it. So I'm not gonna go into all of that, but I'm gonna just let y'all know that it was deep, and you need to get not just on a surface level or dictionary level, but you need to get on a deeper level when it comes down to defining and understanding the difference between a summit and a conference, kings and queens.
Listen, y'all already know I wanted to fall out right there. Uh, I- we ain't gonna go into it, but yes, that came from one of our speakers, Apostle Jerome E. Bowser,
Yes.
broke that all the way down to the core,
Yeah.
and definitely that was also one of my favorite moments. I was just, "Eh."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's one else you had to be in the room. I mean, you just had to be in the room for that one right there. Okay, all right. Thank you, Nakia. Who's next? Oh, why Regina?
So man, I had a lot of favorite moments. So this is very difficult for me. I think I think I would start off by saying before even getting to the conference, I had to the summit rather, I had an expectation. I didn't know what I knew that I was going to the summit to receive something. There was something there for me other than supporting Kingdom Wealth Warriors. I was there to work in a capacity to support our sister, but I knew that there was also something there for me. So I think one of my favorite parts is was operating in that expectancy, like
Mm-hmm.
as a woman of faith, trusting God that there was something there for me.
Mm-hmm.
That was a journey in itself. But if I had to pull it down to, oh, it's so hard. Oh my God. But Dr. Bridget Pfizer, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just the questions about, do you know where your pulpit is? That question. And but I think one of the things that really, I'm not going to say convicted me, but challenged me is identifying what overwhelm looks like, and how I have, because I can only speak for myself, there are some things I have been overwhelmed by, but it's my fault. That there are some things that I need to move out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And her whole, between her, listen, every speaker, Miss Patrice, I won't even put my pocketbook down in it. Listen, my pocketbook is hanging up on a command strip right now on a little thing. It's not, anyway. I'm done. I don't want to go too much. It was awesome.
Uh Listen, I mean, yeah, yeah. I'm right with you there. Too. There was so many moments, but that was powerful, and yeah, we gonna say we ain't gonna say that because I don't want to take nobody's favorite moment, but
Right.
that was powerful too.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I kept saying throughout the summit, I really don't even know what to say,
Mm-hmm.
and because so much was said and so much was demonstrated, it really was powerful. Okay, all right, Tanya, your favorite.
Oh my God. Everybody took mine. I mean, the
You
differences,
can
the
repeat.
difference. Okay, the difference between a summit and a conference, OMG. Kings and queens are summoned. You know, Dr. Bridget. Oh my God, I could just go in tongues right there because she was just,
Mm-hmm.
whew, Jesus, my God in heaven. And when Patrice talked about, respecting your money, even to the down to how you put your money in your wallet. Oh my God. That part right there. I'm like, it was just so much, I know there's more to come in this conversation, but all I can say is you just had to be there. You just had to be there. You just had to be there. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think anybody's favorite moment could be my favorite moment because, yeah, that was powerful. And yes,
Oh, this. I'll say this: the backpack with Dr. Bridget, the backpack, that part.
yes, yes, I love that. I've been
Yes.
really, I've
Yes.
been thinking about that
Yes.
all week. What you come here with?
Yes.
Right.
You
Yes,
leave it
yes.
with.
Yeah. What
Right?
did you
What you leaving
leave
with?
it? Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Bridget was so powerful. As Apostle was, as Prophetess Patrice. I mean, yeah, we couldn't go wrong with any of them. They were
No.
all very powerful. All right, thank you, Tanya. Miss Love.
All right. So for me, because my word was shifting, I wasn't necessarily looking to be like excited and running around the room and all those things. I'm looking for a mind shift, a different way of thinking. So a lot of those things that happen, like when Dr. Bridget Pfizer talked about, having the character for wealth. When one of my favorite parts when she broke down overwhelming being a superpower, because many of us do have that feeling of being overwhelmed. But when she said you won't make a decision unless you're overwhelmed, and that overwhelm is your place of decision. And so I was just like the each I was looking for each speaker to give me a mind shift on how I think about different things, and they did that. I mean, from, like you said, from the difference in the summit and the conference to respecting your money, your whole relationship with money, to just how you look at, are you even, we're in here talking about wealth, but do you have the character for wealth? Like,
Right.
and so for me, it was more so just really looking at where do I need to change? Where do I need to pivot in my thought process? And
Yeah.
so the speakers did that in different ways. All of them did. Gave us nuggets if you were listening for how to shift.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Mm.
powerful. You're absolutely right. I'm going to say, I mean, all of them are my favorites, but obviously the summit conference definition really broke me down. And I think it's because I knew that this was a summit, and I've been pretty transparent. I looked up the definitions because I was looking for the difference between a summit and a conference. Um, and when I Googled it, right, looking them up, the definitions are pretty similar. And so what Apostle was able to pull out really made sense, and it really resonated with me
Yeah.
because I thought, whoa, this is okay. My vision is coming full circle, right? Because sometimes we can have a picture for something, and I'm that type of person. I can see it, I can't always put it into words.
Right.
And so I'm looking for the words. So that was definitely Apostle Bowser was one of my favorite. I'm not going to say my hope because there were so
It
many.
was too much to put it down to one thing. But
Right.
I will say, Deb, what it did do is allow you to be okay who was in the room and who wasn't in the
Yeah.
room. That definition begins to place a divide, right? It begins to understand, there's a select, there's a chosen, and if you're trying to get to this level, there's some things that have to shift to get there. And I believe he orchestrated the particular people to be in the room that he felt is moving into this next level of themselves. And you know, listen,
Absolutely.
rest is history. You should be in the room.
It was amazing. And I want to read, I put up Carmenita, who's our other volunteer, she's having technical problems. Lord, look, pray for the internet. You know what? I was at my brother's house last night and they was having problems with Xfinity. Xfinity, if you are listening to this, you suck. Okay. I loved Dr. Bridget and how she spoke to that broken part in me. This is Carmenita. I have been a serial entrepreneur, and this summit gave me what I needed to succeed this time. Powerful. Listen, I think I want to say that I believe at least one speaker I think spoke to a place in us and everybody in that room.
Mhm.
Um, whether it was a broken piece place or an injured place, right? Because we deal with so much. And when it comes to our financial journey, especially, I think we don't realize how it impacts our ability not only to make money, but to maintain it and keep generating it and accumulating it, right? If we're gonna, put it under those terms, the financial terms of it. It
Right.
really does impact us. And so I'm so glad that Dr. Bridget spoke to that place. And my sister, that's my bestie, y'all. It's my best friend. Yeah, we've been knowing each other since, okay, let me not say that. I'm just gonna say
About
high
to date
school. I
yourself.
was about to put the years out there, but the devil is a lie. Y'all know I don't tell my age.
Here you go. You're about to date yourself.
You ain't getting that, but just know high school. Take your best guess. Okay. Well, thank you, Carmenita, for your input. Yeah, and definitely, if you're able to get back in, get back in. All right, let's go to our next question. Thanks to those who are online. I know I saw Apostle Isaiah, who was also present in the room. Deborah Jones. Listen, we had some amazing people in the room just partaking. Oh my God, just partaking. So I'm so thankful for that. Okay. So let's go. Well, this question, I'm gonna skip. Okay. So which speaker had the biggest impact on you and why?
Oh.
Okay, so y'all kind of stole my thunder with all that sharing that y'all did. So,
You can repeat.
well, I'm gonna say this. So Patrice Johnson absolutely had a major impact on me, especially speaking of the money, talking about the purse, the respect that we have for the purse, and also presentation. That made a significant impact on me, especially because of the direction that I'm being called into and what I actually did on that day. And then I definitely want to speak on um, the Aldolphs, Tequila and Willie Adolph, because as a single woman, to see a couple standing in front of the room and sharing their story, sharing their journey to get from where they were, and the experiences they had to overcome to get to where they are, and the impact that they're having on the world and giving back and mentoring and making sure that their contribution not just within their professional community but within their entire community. That was just powerful because it shines a positive light on what it's like to be Christ fearing, God loving, uh a married couple who met each other long ago, 27 years, I want to say they have been together, 25, 27 years. I took notes, as y'all know, on everything, but that was like very refreshing. And for that to have been the first time that they spoke together ever was pivotal. And for them to engage and be able to finish one another's sentences and be lighthearted and take little jigs at each other, but at the same time, you could tell the love, the respect, the passion that they have for one another, and just the overall commitment that they have to their cause, their walk. So that was a wow factor to me. And one other thing I don't want to overstep, the fact that it's 6 women on this platform and we all volunteered. And Coach Deb, with you being the visionary, it took you trusting God and trusting the 5 of us to be a part of your community to put on such an event that people couldn't believe it was just us that put it together, and for us to be so cohesive, so respectful of one another, and to the ability for us to work together as women, in the capacity in which we have, and have a love and a respect for one another, and never have fully met each other before. This was my first time meeting everybody face to face except for Deb. And that was absolutely a total wow factor for me and absolutely amazing. So I didn't want to step over that. And thank you so very much for allowing me to be a part of this community that is thriving.
I love it. And yes, so thankful. Number one, I'm gonna start backwards. Thankful that you are part of the team. Thankful that you volunteered. Listen, this sister volunteered. She volunteered to work, y'all. She didn't have to. And she made that commitment last year,
Yeah.
after the previous summit. So I'm so thankful for your presence. I really am. The Adolphs were amazing. I love them. And listen, on stage and off stage,
Yeah.
right? Professional, um, loving people. Listen, I know I've shared with some of you that Miss Tequila Adolph really ministered to me,
Mhm.
not just on stage, but off stage. Just really encouraged me. Let me put it that way. And you know, when you meet people, and that was my first time meeting them, so I didn't know the Adolphs other than through Nakia. I met them the first time at the summit, and it was like we had known each other for years. I mean, just beautiful people. And yes, their presentation was amazing. I loved their love. How about that? I love their love. And listen, part of wealth is love. All right, you know,
Absolutely.
I have to educate my audience a little bit, right? Because wealth is not just money, right? We've got to have relationships and connections and all of that, right? And so love is really part of it. And to see that genuine love, the story that they gave us, their journey to where they are now, it really was amazing. It really was encouraging, and just a wealth of knowledge, right? So amazing. They were amazing. And I love their love because I know we know it, but I'm gonna share with the audience that most of the ladies on the volunteer team are single. Okay. Why Miss Y Regina is the married, she the token one, she the married one.
She just put us out on the block.
Right?
But our summit was filled with couples.
Yeah.
We had
Absolutely.
many
It was.
couples.
Yeah.
We
It
had
really
many
was. It really was.
married couples. Let me clean that up. Married couples.
Happily married couples.
So, you know, I take that as a sign that, you know, I'm gonna be attending some weddings soon. That's what I'm believing God for. I don't know who on this stage finna get married, but I
Wow.
just believe that, you know, God allows these things in our life not only to give us hope, but to show us what's to come. And man, I looked around and I said, wow, you know, all these married people, and oh wow. And it's beautiful. It was beautiful. All the couples, and you're right, all the couples that I know of were happy, or at least they looked happy.
Right.
So thank you, Nakia. Thank you, Nakia. All right, let's go to Miss Y Regina.
So these are very difficult questions, Coach Deb. I just want to say that. Um, man, it's hard to choose. Okay, I'm gonna micro this. I'm gonna micro this. I'm gonna say it in each one 5 seconds. For Apostle Hawkins, it was the unpack so that you can repack. That was huge for me. For I've already talked about Patrice, and you've already talked about Apostle Bowser, but for Dr. Bridget Pfizer, it was how dare I, Y Regina Jones, get a download from God and not pause long enough to
Yeah.
write it down.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
And I'm done.
Listen, you dropped the mic on that one. I
Yeah. Yeah.
I encountered that. I want to say today or yesterday. I say, Lord, let me find a peep. Wait a minute, let me get some paper. The devil is a lie, bitch. I am gonna write that.
Hmm. Hmm.
That was so, and it was convicting at the same time. You know, so for those of you who weren't there, Dr. Bridget told us that, and in the midst of her going forth, she received a download, and don't you think she stopped and wrote it down while we sitting there waiting on her?
She was typing and talking, and she was like, "Y'all, hold up. I ain't to miss my money. Hold up. You can miss your money if you want to, but hold up." She's like, "Y'all think I'm playing?"
I ain't mad at her. But it was more,
I know.
it was for her, but it was for us, right? Because it was definitely
Yeah.
an example. She was showing us real time. This is how you do it. You don't let anything stop you. And I believe, I'm probably paraphrasing, but I remember her saying something about that, that are valuing the word to that extent, that we not allow anything to stop us from taking that time to write it down or to record it in some way, right? And all of us have cell phones. I mean, most of us have voice recorders on that phone. You know, we need to, as believers, really get in the habit, because that was a good one, because that one stuck with me too. Right? You need to record those downloads. Sometimes, you know, I know for me, sometimes I'm in the car and I get an idea. And I always say, you know, when I get to a place, I'm going to write it down. Child, you know, I'll be no.
Right.
No. You know, I forgot, something came up, whatever, right? We get sidetracked. But we need to have that reverence, right? That respect. We talked about respect for money, respect for the word, that word that God gives us. Because many times, I believe, it's either part of the plan to get to your wealth or the plan to get you to that next place. And we don't, you know, we don't take it seriously enough. You know, so that stuck. That was a good one. That stuck with me too. Listen, you better stop and write that down. All right, all right. Who we on? Miss Tanya. Oh, wait a minute. Ooh, okay. Sorry about that. I was trying to unmute you. Sorry, I didn't took everybody.
Oh my
We live, y'all.
God. I didn't hear the question, but based on Regina's response, I think I might know what the question is, but I don't want to assume. So can you just ask the question again? Because I
Absolutely. It
okay.
was, who was your favorite speaker, basically. Who was your favorite? Who was your favorite
Yeah.
speaker? Who had the best impact, biggest impact on you, and why?
Definitely Dr. Bridget for sure. And the impact for me, with she and I being uh, in the same, what word am I trying to put right there? We're
And
connected. Oh, what? I'm sorry. Somebody say something?
I was just trying to help you. The same industry.
Thank you, why? Thank you. Thank you, Regina. Thank you. Yes, exactly. Being in the same industry and her being such a powerful um, woman, a powerful prophet, a powerful speaker, it just really it was that mirror that God put in front of me to see me in her, because I have been struggling with um, those that know me on this panel know that we we were all in a group together, and it was just like this struggle for me to want to separate what God has placed inside of me in reference to, being prophetic, and also being gifted as a stylist, and to see it in real time what this looks like you do not have to separate anything, because I've given all of it to you. So she was the most impactful for me for those reasons, just for God to show me what it looks like in real time, that you don't have to separate the gifts that I've placed inside of you. They all work together. um, Definitely with her speaking about our words, and how our words carry so much weight and so much power. And the way why Regina just kind of like gave us this nice little synopsis of that particular part of what she spoke about, because she said a lot. She said
Mhm.
a lot. Um, but taking that time, taking that pause, to actually, say, oh, wait a minute, I'm getting this download from the Lord, giving me this download, because, like you said, that those downloads could either be part of what it is that's going to get you to your wealthy place, or it could just very well be the thing that's going to get you to your wealthy place. So, um, I kind of mixed up a whole lot of things right there, but she was the most impactful for me.
Yes, I love Dr. Bridget. Met her this year also, and love her like a sister. I just love that woman of God. And I'm going to give her a little shout out. I think she is somewhere, but I want to just invite the audience that Dr. Bridget had an amazing fashion show earlier this year, and she's doing another fashion show. Um, I want to say in December, November, December, at the end of the year. So I encourage you to follow her or friend her on Facebook so that you can get that information. It was really amazing, and so she teaches design, and so her students and people that she's associated with design these clothes. So they are original designs, and when I tell you they were awesome, listen. Uh, Amazing, right? Amazing. So I encourage you, if you're interested, especially, I know some of you believers out there, y'all looking for some original clothing. Um, she's someone to connect with. But yeah, she was amazing. Prophetic voice for this day. She opened up. My favorite part from her is that she prayed and opened up the creativity. She prayed and just really called out creativity, not just in those that are in the same industry. There were several that received that impartation from her through prayer, but even in the room, she just stirred it up because we're all creative. Don't let. I'm talking about the devil a lot tonight. I was gonna say, don't let the devil fool you, but don't let your mind fool you. You are creative. There is creativity in you. That's how you're wealth. That's how you're going to get into your wealthy place. That's where that abundance is going to come from. All right, Miss Love. Thank you, Tanya.
All right. So I'm kind of on the Y Regina vein as well. It's hard to put it down to one, but I'm going to give two quick snapshots. My first one is Dr. Bridget Pfizer. And when she talked about, do you know where your pulpit is? But she said you need to live a sent life. And the reason why it was impactful for me, because anytime he gives me an acronym, I know it's something that I need to hold on to. And he told me I need to be sanctified, exalted, and necessary for transformation. So I need to live a sent life. I need to know where God is sending me, and I need to be ready to go. Then my second one was Apostle Delcine, when she began to talk about that everybody can survive at the summit level, at the peak level. And that's true. We can go higher, but everybody can't survive at that level. And so God has taken us higher. But she began to talk about even when she broke down invoice, that your invoice speaks. It began to talk to me about the fact that I have what I say. And so I am began to speak differently. She said, your seed is in your closet. So it reminded me I got to use what I got. Many times we're looking for something else, looking for something outside of ourselves, outside of our home. And she said, no, go back to your home. Go back to the gifts he's giving you. Dig them things up. Unpack, like you said, get some other stuff out of there so that you can see the gifts that you already have. And so those are mine. Sorry it wasn't one, but it was hard to drop it to one.
I mean, you did amazing. And Apostle Delcine, who is on live with us, she was amazing, powerful. Oh my gosh, her and her husband. So thankful that they were able to come, y'all. I mean, almost last minute, really. They made the decision to join us from, I forgot. I think South Carolina. I
Was
want
it
to
South
say South
Carolina?
Carolina.
And listen, Coach Deb, what I love about Apostle Delcine is that she was so quiet the whole conference.
Quiet storm.
I'm telling you this because I already told her this. She was so quiet the whole summit. And when she got up to speak, I was like, oh my, ma'am, really? Really? Her voice has so much power in her
Yes.
tonality, and she's very humble.
Yes.
But just very sure-footed. So thank you for that recap, love. That was awesome.
Coach Dale, before you move forward,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to step over love. Can you break down sent again? You said sanctified, exalted, necessary.
Sanctified, exalted, necessary for transformation. I got to live a sent life. Okay. Listen.
Because
Y'all gonna be looking for me. I'm trying to tell you. Okay. You gonna be like, where's she at? She been sent. Okay.
I just can't step over when love be breaking stuff down, because I gotta be obedient and take my notes. We don't. I got to be writing it down. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure I'm on point. So I appreciate that, because we can't miss those nuggets, and we can't allow people to miss those nuggets because just because they wasn't in the room this time, they're going to understand they need to be in the room next time. And anytime you're on social media or however, the women in this space has so much to contribute to the lives of so many people, not just on this platform, but on their personal platforms as well. So I'd never want to step over an opportunity to acknowledge or find out more.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there was just so much was imparted to us, so much was said and done and experienced in this summit. I am just grateful to be a part of it myself. I really am. It really was amazing for me also. And I don't have to say too much because you guys, everything that you said and more, right? I can relate to all of them. All the speakers were amazing. All of them. All of them gave me something that that I'm carrying with me, right? For the next. So, as we are getting to our last question, this gonna be our last question tonight, because yeah, we can talk about this. I know we can talk about this all night, but everybody ain't gonna watch us all night. They're gonna get tired of us, all right? Yeah, they're gonna get tired of us. So the last question. What insight or lesson from the summit have you already implemented in your life? If there is one, right? If there is something, is there anything that you received that you have already implemented? Miss Nakia.
Well, oh my, it's been it's so much. Just from the aspect of sitting back and looking at my foundation of brave manifestations, looking at what I am purpose for, the direction I'm going in, just the conversations that we had as a group after the summit that had me get into action that much quicker, and just being clear with where I'm going and what I'm called to do. Like the freedom, the peace of mind, the ability to see something that God gave to you, Coach Deb, in your spirit. He showed you a vision. He showed you just a glimpse. You didn't even have the full picture of what it was going to be, how it was going to end out, how it was going to all play out. He just wanted you to trust him. And because of your actions and your willingness to just trust him, because we're all on a different level of relationship with Christ, we're all on a different walk, we're all on a different journey and path, right? No two of us are equal, right? And your faithfulness and your commitment gave me the ability to see things differently and question my trust level where I am in my faith walk with Christ. And so, just on the simplicity of the questions, I was like, send the question to us in the text and let me ask the question because I need to know. And then I got deeper and deeper and broke it down to the point where I'm saying, if I have no time but 10 to 15 minutes in my day, what can I do to forward myself and forward Brave? What can I do to better myself to where I'm developing myself in character, in commitment, and in capacity? And those three words right there were the final ending words that we had at the summit when we repeated those words to one another. And it wasn't just three words. It was a commitment, it was a call to action, it was a respect and an honoring of why we were in that room. The expectation that I had, the expectation that each and every one of us had to say it and own it: character, commitment, and capacity. And that for me was that space in which I have been taking those steps. And every day going forward, I'm going to honor my commitment, develop my character, and expand my capacity. Thank you.
Love it. Okay, Miss Y Regina.
So, the insight or lesson that I've learned, that I've already started implementing, nothing yet. And I think because I feel like I'm still downloading from the summit. For me, my senses are heightened.
Mhm.
I am sober. I think for me, this is a time of sobering. I'm so sober because there was so much that was spoken into me. And I feel like it's still downloading. I feel like God is still speaking into my heart. I still feel like um just sitting here with you guys, just it's like I can feel the summit all over again. And there was so much. So I know that maybe subconsciously I'm implementing, but I think most of it is becoming sober. Like, Regina, where is your pulpit? Regina, are you taking the time to download these things? There was so much direction given that it woke me up, if that makes any sense. And so I am in a place of being sober, and I'm just looking around the landscape, and I'm like, God is erecting this, and this in my life. And I don't want to move too fast. So I'm like, okay, what is it that you have me to do? I'm sober now. So I'm not really even taking a step. It doesn't mean that I'm scared. I'm not fearful, anything like that. If anything, I feel more empowered, right? And so I think I'm walking in that empowerment because what? I am empowered to prosper, right? And I've become more sober minded. So I'm keeping my mouth closed a little bit more, trying to keep this notebook close of the notes that I took, listening to my sisters as y'all speak, and I'm learning from you guys, and also just remembering, Coach Deb, it's a thing. There's no words for it. I just feel it in the spirit that for me, Regina, why Regina Jones needed to be sobered up. And I went through an awakening when it comes to being empowered to prosper. So that's it, ma'am.
I love it. And yeah, I can relate. I think I took off Monday to do that. There was just so much that I felt was poured into me
Mhm.
through all the speakers, through the environment. I received such joy even looking in the room and seeing other people making connections and fellowshipping and you know, I'm sure figuring out collaborations and the such. Um, yeah, I like that word sobering because it was sobering. Um, I like to have fun, but y'all, it was a very serious situation. We really did get some instructions, some we heard from the Lord,
Mhm.
and but we also received some practical guidance that is helping us continue on our journey. And Apostle Dale saying surveying the land and the situations. I love that. Yeah, I think it's important for us all. Even if you weren't at the summit and you're watching now, evaluate where you are. And hopefully you're able to glean, even from this discussion about some of the things that were said. Okay, let me not get into all of that. Thank you, Regina. Miss Tanya. Okay, I'm gonna have to unmute you. Wait a minute. Let me see. Okay.
Um, it's really interesting because as I was listening to you ask the question and then listening to Nakia's response, and then when Regina spoke, I I have to be completely honest and transparent in this moment and say that I had a moment of like relief because it was so much that I I have not implemented anything as of yet. Um, and why Regina just really kind of summed it up in such a beautiful way of being sober and just really um, giving myself permission to kind of like just take it all in. And I have yet to truly give myself permission to do that. And then listening in tonight, there was just so much that has been said that, again, why Regina just said it perfectly. Like it was like being in the space, being in that room all over again, but with a new set of ears
Mhm.
because you were there, you were hearing it, you were also doing other things. So, it was some things that I didn't fully have an opportunity to really soak up. But at the same time, there was much that I did hear, and then having being in this space and hearing it again, like that reinforcement. So it's just one of those things that it was a lot. It was a lot that was poured in, and I just have to give myself permission, make the time to really just kind of sit with it and really allow it and extract from what was said that was for me. Because
Mhm.
everything that was things that God had
We may be, I think we
said
lost you.
through each speaker
Okay.
that was specifically for, oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear
Go
me?
ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Can't hear me?
We can hear you. Oh, now we can't. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Tanya.
Okay.
I know Tanya's
Um,
driving. Oh, is she there? Okay. All right. All right. She's still talking, y'all. Wait a
Oh,
minute.
now she muted herself.
Okay. So she's driving. Oh, she's driving. So we'll if she comes back, we'll pop back to her. All right. All right. So Miss Love.
Right. So for me, again, I'm going back to my shift. Um, in understanding and being very clear about who I am, what I carry. I'm working on those invoices, those things that speak. And so
Mhm.
the biggest thing that I've changed since the conference, since the summit, excuse me, since the summit is very bold and specific prayers, activating in my life the things where before, you'd be like, God, please do this. No, I'm coming to God in a different way. Because once God begins to give you clarity about who you are and what you carry, then you don't have to beg God for anything. You get to the point where you ask God to show me how to access the things that you already said is mine. And so, what I have changed since the summit is my language, in my prayers, because I know I have what I say. And so I've decided if I'm not going to just talk about wealth, you know, like we come have a girls talk, like some was a girls talk. No, I got to begin to speak those things so that I begin to attract the wealth that I know that God has already ordained for my life. And so he's going to start to, when she talked about surveying the land. Listen, one of the things that I did this year is I went to a good soil conference. I am good soil, and things grow out of good soil. And so you have to, surveying, and so you can really begin to look at where you're planted. Not only the people you keep around you, but where you're planted, because many of us aren't not growing to the next level, aren't attracting the wealth that we want because we're not planted in good soil. Where we may be planted but not in good soil. And so I am beginning to be very strategic about what I say, be very intentional about where I'm planted, have to guard my space, place boundaries around it. You have to protect that purpose. When he gives you that seed, you got to protect it and care for it. And so I'm just making those necessary changes and preparing for what is already mine. When we talk about cultivate, like we talk about wealth, but wealthy people, as I said in the summit, they think differently, they eat differently, they're in different environments. And so if you want to be at the peak, you're gonna have to change your perspective, so that you can have that power to be able to exist at that level. So
Love it. Yes. So rich. So rich. All right. So thank you so much, Miss Love. Tanya, did you finish? I know we kind of lost you in and out, but I sent you back. I wanted to give you an opportunity. Did you finish what you were saying? You want to add?
No, no, I'm good.
Okay. All right, y'all. So listen, this has been such a rich conversation. I am so thankful that we all had the opportunity to do this, not only for you who are watching, but even for us. We were working. And so, yes, the part that we received, and I don't know, we all received a lot, but yeah, we were doing some double duty. And I think it was good for us to be able to just kind of rehash, some of the things that we heard, share our insights, and really delve deep into, what God laid before us. When we invest in these type of events, we need to get everything that God wants to give us, right? Because it's not just you making an investment, it's God making an investment. He invested his servants to come and speak to us, and he put the word in their belly. And so, again, we just have to be really careful that we're respecting that word, that we're taking action on that word, that we're not allowing that word to be dormant. Right. So, for one, all of that, right, I am being very intentional about taking action. And this process, I received so many things, but one thing that I have put into action for sure is really not just walking by faith, but speaking faith, speaking that thing, even when I don't see it. And I know we know what faith is, but I think many times the situations in our life cause us to contradict our testimony, right? Contradict our profession of our faith. And so it's really important for us to stay focus, stay intentional, allow the Spirit of God to lead you. Listen, God wants you to have an abundant life. Y'all hear me say that all the time. It's your birthright. Come on now. He wants you to have abundance, right? It's not, he's not hiding it. Okay. It's right there before us. And it's necessary for the advancement of the kingdom. So listen. Oh man, I'm so excited. All right. So God expects ROI. And Apostle said, yes, he does. Oh, wait a minute, let me put apostles up. God watches over his word to perform it. Okay. And we have to protect our seed. All right. So I love it. So listen, we got to wrap this thing up because it is that time. So I want to give y'all, I know y'all done said a lot. So if you don't have nothing to say, it's okay. But I want to give you the last opportunity to give your closing words. And why you added, let me add this in. Go ahead and give them a reason. Tell them why they should consider joining us next year. Right? Go ahead and intertwine that into your wrap up. All right. So go ahead, Miss Nakia.
All right, y'all. I'm just so appreciative of everyone who showed up. I just want to acknowledge each and every person who was in the room, who took the chance on themselves, who took the risk and the investment to say, I'm worth showing up for. I'm worth being in that room. It is worth me investing in myself. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what I'm walking into. I don't know what I'm walking out of. I have an expectancy to walk out of the room better than I did before I walked into the room. So I just appreciate the partnership with each of you ladies, because it was absolutely amazing. It was very refreshing. And I'm just, my call to action for you is to show up, pre-register, get on the waiting list. Coach Deb, I'm 100% sure it's already on her website, debhoward.com, if I'm not mistaken, if I got that right. So just show up, y'all. There is nothing that you can regret unless you choose not to take the action. So thank y'all so much for tuning in, for joining us, for being in this space and gracing us with your presence. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Nakia. Yes, the save the date, debhowardonline.com. And it's also in the chat. A link is in the chat. If you want to sign up for the wait list audience, listen, go ahead. You ain't got to pay nothing today, right? Just go ahead and put your email in and you will get information about 2025, 9/27/25. Okay, that's the date. That's an inside joke. 9/27. But thank you so much,
9/27.
Miss Nakia.
2025.
Inside joke, y'all. Inside joke. All right. So, thank you, Miss Nakia. We're going to go to Miss Waragina.
Thank you, Coach Deb. I think my last parting words will be that as awesome as the summit was, there will be things that try to come against you to steal it all away, to take your joy, to distract you, to move you out of the path that God has for you. For me, as high as I was, high in the spirit, getting off that plane from Houston and landing in Washington, D.C., I wasn't on the ground for 10 minutes before I was in tears about something. And I recognized it for what it was. It was there to steal everything that had been imparted to me. So I just want to remind you that this journey that you're on, it matters. Everything received from the summit, it matters. If you have to step to the side to cry, cry, but then pick it up and let's keep going. It's not the end. The reason to come to the summit next year, I'm going to go back to the foundation for my response there. It is when Deb Howard and I were put together as business accountability partners, before I really knew anything about Kingdom Wealth Warriors. And when we had to be accountable to each other in another group for our business, I told her that her humility and how much she cares about people and their wealth and prospering as their soul prosper without making them feel like the scum of the earth means something to a whole lot of people. That's why you should be at that summit. And I'm gonna drop the mic right there. Thank you guys.
That's all she doing is dropping the mic, y'all. Thank you, Y Regina AP. Love you, yes. Yeah, the enemy always wants to steal that word. All right. Miss Tanya. We're doing closing words. Oh, did I lose her?
I think she's still lagging, Deb. You may want to mute her. Just a suggestion.
Yeah. Can you hear Tanya? Okay. Um. Okay. Well, let's go to Miss Love.
So, as I bring this to a close, the theme "Empowered to Prosper" reminds me that prosperity and wealth is a part of your ordained purpose, part of your ordained blueprint, and God brings people and provision and power and perspective to purpose. So if you know that God has created you with purpose, which he has created all of us with purpose, you need to be in the room next year, because it is important that we make strategic steps towards walking boldly in our purpose. Hey, listen, it's a part of who God says you are, and I don't want you to miss it. So those are my closing words.
Thank you, Miss Love. And I'm going to try one more time. Tanya, can you talk? No?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Go, go. Yeah, you were kind of lagging
Oh,
before. So your closing words.
okay. Okay. um, hmm. So much has already been said, but I will say what I told Deb when she saw fit to ask me to be a part of this amazing uh, process, and that is foundation. If you weren't at this year's summit, it's okay. Um, it was foundational. So you definitely need to be in the room in 2025, 9/27/25, because it's time to build. Okay, the foundation has been laid, and it's time to build. It's time to to continue on with the building of what it is that God has for each and every one of us to do in reference to building kingdom wealth. It is imperative that we continue on with these fundamentals so that we can build and and have the wealth that we all need in order to uh, carry out the assignments that we have on our lives. So um, you just have to be in the room. There's nothing like being in the room. I know this recap was amazing. It was definitely insights, that I received from this conversation. But I think the insights came to me even more because I was actually in the room. So definitely take advantage of hopping on the waiting list so that you can be one of the first to get the information that's needed in order to register. Um, yeah, you just have to be in the room. That's all I can say, and I'll just leave it there.
Thank you, Tanya. And thank you all. Listen, I'm so proud of this team. Uh, y'all, you don't know the half of it, right? It takes work. Okay. And these ladies worked, right? We all worked. but it was good. It was good work, right? Somebody said that somewhere. It was good work. Who said that? Anyway, let me not get caught up in that. But I am very proud of the work that this team has done. And I'm so thankful to God for just really just kissing our event. I do believe that the Father was pleased with what occurred in the room. And so my closing words would be simple. Miss Delcine put it up for me. Just be in the room, right? There is an anointing to just be in the room. There's some things, no matter how much talking we do right here, we could have went through and read all the transcripts of every speaker, but it would not have been the same as being in the room. And listen, God wants more for you. Mm-hmm. If you're watching me, God wants more for you. He is not getting glory. I'm going to just say it that way. Yeah, I'm going to say it just like that. He is not getting glory out of your suffering, out of your lack, out of you worrying about how to make ends meet, right? We are children of a king, of the king, right? And so it is our responsibility. It really is to be intentional about aligning with the kingdom and the mandate of the kingdom. Your responsibility to use the gifts and the talents and the ideas and the inventions and all the things that you have on the inside of you to help advance the kingdom, to be a blessing to someone else. And guess what? You can argue with me all day, but you need money to do that. Okay. We can go back and forth about, how God he can do all kinds of things. Favor is great. I love favor. But you know what? The time comes when we need resources. And so I want all of us to be in the place where we have the resources and that we are able to help those who are still trying to get there. How about that? Right? That you're able to write the book. Some of you watching have a book to write. You can't get the book published because you don't have the funds. Come on now, let's be real about some of these things. So listen, be in the room because the answers are in the room. I'm so thankful for this year's summit. Oh my gosh, but I'm more thankful. I'm more excited about what God is going to do next. So listen, thank you all that were on this live today. Thank you all for joining us. I know this conversation has went on over an hour, but it was so good. It seemed like it was 30 minutes. It seemed like it was 20 minutes. It seemed like we just got started. But thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, of course, all the team, including Carmenita Seegers, but Nakia, Regina, Tanya Collins, of course, Love Pate. Listen, thank you all so much. I didn't even get to talk to all the stuff that I was going to talk about. Yeah, I had testimony. But yeah, let me just put that up there. Okay. Because this. Okay. And thanks to all the sponsors. We had some great sponsors too to help us with this. Listen, it was amazing. God did so many great things. I am so thankful. And I can't wait to see you again, right? Next year. Now you're gonna see me before next year. So don't be looking for me. Don't wait till September the 27th to come back to this channel, right? You need to come back this week because I'm gonna be live again this week. Oh, she got it up. Right. That's the ad we had it at 9/27/25. So if you're watching, the link is in the chat for you to sign up on the wait list so that you can get information as soon as it is available for next year. But listen, thank you all. Thank you all that are live. We got all these comments. Thank you all. Yes, ambassador to the kingdom of God. Listen, we got to have resources. That is showed up right. Thank you again. So listen, y'all already know what I am going to say. I hope y'all all know. I know everybody on this phone here, on this screen here, know what I'm about to say. Go have your most abundant day or evening because we out of here. Bye, y'all.